happy whatever day it is. Yeah, man, alright, here's how I'm gonna try to illustrate this. And please know this is not based off anything empirical or source-driven or something, because the source is my ass, alright? Because that's exactly what happens here. As stated, we bullshit about heavy metal, so let's go. Does it sound have a future, or are we living in it right now? First, no, this is not one of those videos that's gonna start out with, what is heavy metal? Everybody watching's already seen a million videos like that. But to maybe build a little bit more clearly on what I'm getting at first, instead, when is it unmistakably metal? I think when you really break it down, it's when it's something everybody can agree on when they hear it. Be they music fans like us, scholars, maybe some of you, real studious types, normies or law enforcement, whoever, regardless of the walk of life. What quality gets it instant recognition by all as being metal? I don't think it's when it's measured by speed, for example, because you can find tons of stuff that's still fast as hell. Jazz, classical, country, hell, dance music even. And yeah, maybe you can argue that some classical music's heavy, but it's still missing one thing. So remove speed for a second, and I think attitude can be excluded as a qualifier too, because like, same deal. If you're talking about lyrics being real offensive or depressing or something, like yeah, same deal. You can find that stuff anywhere. Maybe you won't necessarily uncover a whole lot of country or pop stuff talking about eating people, but homicidal rampages? Hey, Werewolves of London for one. Ah shit, Maneater too, that's another one, I take it back. A lot of Ghetto Boys songs are pretty graphic too, rest in peace Bushwick. So that simply leaves the sound itself, the fucking guitars, you know? Now personally, I've always recognized heaviness two ways. The first, how the guitars sound coming out of the amps. And for me personally, it's about how well those mids are scooped. And two, how those guitars interact with the bass, whether they're on top of it or just alongside it or hell, maybe even behind it. So with that, it's probably somewhat a matter of personal taste, and I'm not telling you nothing you don't already know, because obviously Heavy Sabbath's different than Heavy Sleep, which is different than Heavy Sodom, which is different than Heavy Agent Steel, which is different from, and I think the buck stops here truly, Heavy Mortician. Shout out Yonkers, New York, always. Quick note on Sabbath, and no, this has nothing to do with the upcoming Tony Martin releases, which I'm psyched as hell for, but I really think, yeah, Sabbath created heavy metal, most people probably agree on that, but when and where? Under the Sun, man, 1972, that very first chord, holy shit, man. And then 2 years after that, even if it was only just slowing the tape down a little, the final chords of Black Diamond, the studio version, Kiss, first album. And so as I understand it, there's younger bands out there right now doing stuff with like 8 or 9 string guitars or something, 10, 11, 12, I guess. And I've heard a smidgen of it, but see, yeah, there you go. That's where personal taste comes in. I guess I just don't have a taste for it. So bottom line with that point is that you play any of those bands to anybody really and you ask them, what are you hearing right now? They're gonna say heavy metal. Speed aside, whether it's DRAGONFORCE level fast, mid-paced leather lung or crowbar or pretty slow like WEEDEATER, none of it's Enrique Iglesias or something, alright? So really man, like, if Under the Sun's over here and Flesh Ripper's over here and everything else is in between, where do you go from there? I don't think you really can go anywhere, you know? None more black. I mean, perhaps if you start triple and quad tracking guitars in the studio and stuff, that's one thing, but isn't it gonna just start to sound really blurry at that point? Like, you know, whether you're playing fast or slow, or maybe not even, because hell, I think Matt Pike himself said that Dope Smoker and some High on Fire songs have like 5 or 6 layered guitar tracks, but CRYPTOPSY's certainly way heavier than both those bands, for example. Finn put it really well a couple years ago when he talked about how some stuff through probably a combo of like quad tracking, you know, with 50 strings and all, it's almost basically become ambient at that point. So I just think to say, in terms of heavy metal's human navigation, we have hit the limits, and like a long while ago too. And you'd think with progress in technology, you may see advancement, but like, how the hell are you gonna achieve that? You know, how are you gonna get heavier than Mortician? And my thought on that is, hey man, that's perfectly fine. That's perfectly fine. I think there's a pretty damn good reason the legacy stuff's still popular today, and as a result, inspires many young bands in the underground to emulate their styles to keep things going. Imminent Terror, SEPSISTIC, MALFORMITY, ANTI-SAPIEN, a few of the thousands out there. Rock may be dead, I agree with Gene as far as that goes, because name me like 5 mainstream rock bands that actually are rock and not just some kind of weird indie or like post-alternative or something. But heavy metal, on the other hand, is certainly not. Can metal go anywhere now in terms of heaviness, though? I mean, speed, maybe it could, because you always hear about new records being broken in terms of like BPM and stuff by these psychopath drummers, so there's probably room there. And I think there's always a contest going on to see who can write the most offensive and horrible shit, like lyrics-wise. But sound-wise, I don't know, man. I think this is it. And that's what I mean when I say metal's future is none, because we're living in it right now, and this is how it's probably going to be till the end of the friggin' world, I think at least. See, this is why I didn't really want to rely on any sort of like top 10 or top 20 list of heaviest bands out there, because it always seems like there's somebody else who's aware of something more extreme. And it's forums such as this where those cool discoveries are made. Mainly my interests lie in the more basic and traditional stuff, always and including many that come up from the underground, so if it's thrashier grind like Drive-By Bukkake or more basic death metal like Torture Rack or Tartarus Horde, that's kind of more my jam. But those are still pretty extreme for me. But yeah, man, so what do you got? What's your take? Do you think we can go any further? I mean, do you even care? I don't. I'm perfectly fine with the way things are. But that's what I got for you. I'm curious where your head's at. And if you did like this video, cool, man. Maybe you can give it a thumbs up. Or if you just like hearing somebody bullshit about heavy metal, then do a swing of the axe right into that subscribe button. And we'll see you next time on Concrete Spew. But until then, stay crazy, my friends.